Good evening, being 7 o'clock, I'd like to call to order the Town of Shenango Planning Board meeting for November 10th, 2025. May we have a roll call?
Sure, Mr. Carnegie,
Here.
Ms. Musternardi,
Here.
Mr. Boland is absent. Mr. Zenner,
Here.
Mr. Eldridge,
Here.
Mr. Donnelly,
Here.
that's it.
And we've got two planning board minutes to approve. Approval of minutes, I'm sorry, excuse me. Approval of the minutes of the October 27th, 2025 meeting. Is there any discussion, additions, changes?
No.
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes.
Second.
Can we have a vote?
All right, just hang on. There we go. All right, Mr. Carnegie,
Aye.
Ms. Musternardi,
Aye.
Mr. Zenner,
Aye.
Mr. Eldridge,
Aye.
Mr. Donnelly.
Aye. Okay, we have an advisory opinion referral from the zoning board. There was an advisory opinion to the town board, oh, I'm sorry, it's to the town board on Smith Hill Rezone Bowling Project. Mr. Erda?
Okay, I wrote a letter on August 14th reviewing Mr. Boland's application to the town board. The town board requested that I review it completely for application completeness based on 73-26 and 73-27 in the town code. So this is for 305 Smith Hill Road. Mr. Boland wants to do 2 buildings, each with 4 units in it, so a total of 8 units. I looked at a rezone petition, a letter to the town board, a full EAF and site plans, and a review with him back and forth a few times and meeting with him. He updated his documents with a letter of transmittal, letter of intent, a full EAF part 1, a site plan set, and also his fee. Those documents, forgot my glasses, sorry. Those were what I reviewed to deem the package complete. He gave us everything that we needed as a town under section 73-27 preliminary development plan. He had a site plan that gave a cover sheet, existing site conditions, current zoning map, preliminary development plan, existing 10-foot contours on C100. He did end up putting some proposed 10-foot contours on. He added building square footages. He's not calling for any signage. He wants to just do building IDs with 911 requirements on them. I requested that he explain that in his letter of intent. Open spaces, none were shown, but none are also required by the code, so that's okay. Land use areas, he added them in the surrounding lots, so we could see what's on the surrounding lots per the code. Streets, this isn't a subdivision, and it's not a chopped up piece that's gonna have streets to be dedicated to us, so there are none to be dedicated to the town. There's just an access drive to the units that'll remain private. There were not any utility easements that needed to be required that I found or that were provided. Rights of way, none. There are no roads to be provided to the town. Adjacent land use, again, that was up in the earlier section. It's just in the code a couple times. Locations of driveways are required to be shown. Any highways, street intersections, proposed traffic circulation, parking, loading areas, pedestrian walks, etc. So he's got some lighting on there, building mounted lighting. Just wants to light basically their walks to the houses and parking area off the buildings. Landscaping was very basically shown. Sidewalks, there aren't any. Entrance and exit is just the one point on Smith Hill Road. Proposed construction sequence for buildings, parking spaces, and landscaped areas. He's planning to do it in one phase. The EAF also indicates that, and that they'll take 8 months to develop it. Proposed utilities need to get shown. There's a clause in here that says with a letter of review from Durham County Health Department. I take that letter to the county piece to mean if it's a subdivision, they would require that we review to make sure that we can actually serve water and sewer, sometimes by way of a septic system or well. In this case, it goes to them through the 239 review, which we don't have yet. It's in process for the town board. They're going to connect to existing sanitary out on Smith Hill. That's shown on C100. Same for water for C100. Stormwater drainage, it's under an acre. So he doesn't have to do a stormwater plan, doesn't have to have a stormwater permit, but I've asked that they at least do something for stormwater to knock it back down from paved back to a lesser level. He indicated that they'll have roof drains going to dry wells. And that'll be designed and final, should it move ahead. Broome County Health Department letter, as I noted, will come with a 239 review. Not anticipating too many detailed comments from them, as this doesn't have a well or any private components to it for well or sewer. Additional review, just taking a look at land uses. We've got PDDC next to them with the convenience store and fueling. There's the Sonic close by. We got residential directly above it and across from it. Actually, directly above it is a commercial variance building and then residential. Let's see. They are proposing this as a bridge between commercial and residential properties. Parking is in front of the units and in garages and is adequate per code. Trash removal, I asked about that. If there's gonna be a dumpster for them, no. He says it's gonna be by unit basis. Floodplain does not impact the site. Wetlands don't impact the site. Rare or threatened species, don't show any indicators on the DEC maps. Historic places, they will have to finalize this through their seeker process and through the final site plan should they move ahead. Everything in that area is always archaeological buffer area that has to be investigated or ruled out via consultation with the state. So they're not gonna be able to get around that without going through the state. It is in an Aquifer Protection Zone 2 recharge area. I don't have any problems with the project as long as they keep it the way it is. It's fine within that. The secret full EAF review will be by the town board as lead agency. Full EAF submitted is complete based on the preliminary development plan submitted. I did review all of that with them a couple times. Project is subject to 239 review within 500 feet of a state or county road. That's Front Street. So I reviewed it and found it to be complete per section 73-27 and recommended referring the application to you guys. And this is where we're at tonight. I checked in with Nate and Brian and Renee. I didn't feel the need to do additional review until we get to final if you guys recommend it for the next step. I think Nate will probably, maybe you'll give them a rough blurb on what the process is so we all know what goes next. An applicant is represented here tonight.
Thank you. The applicant is here or is representative? Do you have anything that you want to respond to any of his comments or give us any additional information?
I think Alex covered it pretty well. I guess I'm here for questions.
Hey, does anybody have some questions for the project?
Nope. We just get your name.
Yeah. Jason Ryan.
Thank you.
So the planning board's action tonight is to provide an advisory opinion to the town board, as Alex, I think, noted. The criteria that you have to specifically reference in your decision is outlined under 73-29, which contains the findings required for a PDD plan. I'll just briefly read through those. The planning board may recommend the establishment of a PDD, provided that it finds the facts submitted with the preliminary development plan establish that A, the uses proposed will not be detrimental to the natural characteristics of the site or to present and potential surrounding uses, but will have a beneficial effect, which could not be achieved under any other district. B, land surrounding the proposed development can be developed in coordination with the proposed development and be compatible in use. C, land uses surrounding the proposed development will be adequately buffered from the proposed use where necessary by appropriate screening devices, such as a wall, fence, or hedge. Where existing features of the property can serve this function, the design of the proposed development shall be such that these features are preserved for such purpose. D, the proposed change to a planned development district or the proposed site plan in RA and NC districts is in conformance with the general intent of the comprehensive plan of the town of Shenango. E, existing and proposed streets are suitable and adequate to carry anticipated traffic within the proposed district and in the vicinity of the proposed district. F, existing and proposed utility services are adequate for the proposed development. And finally, G, each phase of the proposed development as it is proposed to be completed contains the required parking spaces, landscape, and utility areas necessary for creating and sustaining a desirable and stable environment. So when you folks vote tonight, one way or the other, to make a recommendation to the planning board, you know, your decision needs to keep in mind those 7 criteria, and ideally the letter to the town board will have some finding that you've determined in accordance with this section that the project as proposed will be, and then, you know, A through G. You know, findings specifically on each one of them are ideal. And then to Alex's question or point of what happens after you folks make your recommendation to the town board will review, and if it so chooses, authorize rezoning of the property to, in this case, the PDD R2. After the town board then approves the preliminary development plan and makes the rezoning, it comes back to you folks for the final site plan review, which is just like any other normal site plan review you would do for any other district, because at that point it's been zoned and the next step is just site plan. So you'll see this project one more time.
Okay.
I mean, it falls between 2 commercial properties. The one above it has a variance or something. I think we actually did something there not that long ago. Yeah. Yeah.
And the painting place, wasn't that the painters? The
In the
painters?
broom, in the broom,
That's what it is now.
brooms over broom, or
Yeah.
brushes over
Brushes
brushes
over
over
broom.
broom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to tick through those, that A through G, and just make a finding on each one of those, and then
Might as
you'd
well,
vote
right?
at the end of that, if you're all
Yeah.
right with that?
Yeah.
So, 73-29. So, do you find that the uses proposed will not be detrimental to the natural characteristics of the site or to present and surrounding uses, but will have a beneficial effect? Do you find that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, I'm
Yes.
seeing some nodding heads.
Yes.
Okay. And then Renee, you're just gonna note that for the minutes at some point. Yep. B is the land surrounding the proposed development can be developed in coordination with the proposed development and be compatible in use. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Land uses surrounding the proposed development will be adequately buffered from the proposed use where necessary by appropriate screening devices. Do you find that this will be buffered appropriately?
Where
Yes.
necessary, yes.
The proposed change, do you find that this is in general intent of the comprehensive plan?
Yes.
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 Do you find that the existing and proposed streets are suitable and adequate to carry the anticipated traffic within the vicinity?
Yes.
And then do you find that the existing and proposed utility services are adequate?
Yes.
Yes.
And then do you find that each phase of the proposed development as it is proposed contains the required parking spaces, landscape, and utility areas necessary for creating and sustaining a desirable and stable environment?
Yes.
Okay, so then with those findings, I think it'd be appropriate for you to recommend approval of the application for the PDD R2.
Okay, so would someone like to make that motion?
I'll make a motion for a favorable advisory to the town board for the PDD-R2.
And including those findings that you've all just reviewed.
I'll second.
Can we have a vote?
Mr. Carnegie,
Aye.
Ms. Mustardnardi,
Aye.
Mr. Zenner,
Aye.
Mr. Eldridge,
Aye.
Mr. Donnelly.
Aye.
Thank you.
So, obviously, that's going to the town board with our blessing.
Good.
Bainbridge High School?
Yeah, I did.
I'm a few years younger than you, but I think we rode the same bus. He lived right down the road from me. As soon as, he looked familiar, as soon as he said his name, I was like, I'm pretty sure I know him.
Yeah.
So, it apparently didn't get on the agenda due to possibly a lack of communication between departments, but the town board at its last regular meeting did refer a draft of the solar moratorium law to the planning board for an advisory opinion. You folks have more time if you want to, in order to, I think we've got more time, yes, because the town board public hearing won't be until December 10th. And so there's time. If you want to provide your opinion about that at the next planning board meeting, there's a special meeting November 24th. That's again for review of in this case, the new energy equity / D'Amatos solar farm application. That's also scheduled for November 24th review. So you can either give your opinion tonight, or you can do it at that meeting.
We can do it at the meeting on the 8th.
Or you could do it at your meeting on the 8th. You've got two more meetings between now and the town board's meeting. I can see pros and cons for doing it at a later meeting. Some messaging to the public perhaps might be helpful. But the planning board is obligated, I was just discussing before the meeting with the chairman, they're obligated to continue review of pending applications for all development until a moratorium actually takes effect. And so at the next meeting, we've asked Alex to prepare, a more detailed, and specific review of the environmental impacts of the project in accordance with part 2 of the seeker form. That's why we walked through those 18 questions, reviewed briefly what the applicants proposed. I pointed out, there's some areas that, based on public comment and just what we know, probably need some real thought to it. There's some areas that don't. And then just to see, okay, with each of those questions, do we think that there's moderate to large impacts, or are they no to small impacts? And then if there are already moderate to large impacts, are there changes to the project possible which can mitigate those impacts such that they in fact cause no or small? Because this is a type 1 action, if we think that conditions on the project are appropriate, we have to actually make a positive declaration and go through an environmental impact statement, and which will take more time, basically. But it's okay to do that. It's not a bad thing. That's in fact environmentally appropriate when you're faced with a project that might be of particular environmental concern. So hopefully Alex's review and thoughts with the part 2 and his, outline of areas that he thinks are really potentially impactful will help structure your discussion at the meeting. And if you conclude that this project needs even more environmental review at that meeting, it's possible that you could make a positive declaration, in which case then the applicant will have an opportunity to go through what's called scoping to more specifically and granularly identify the areas of environmental concern that we really want reviewed. And then that'll prompt the applicant to provide even more information about those particular areas, and whatever those might be.
Does anybody know of any history of like ice or debris on that field? I know other areas in the town that really get hammered with it, like over here at 12A golf course and the old driving range seem to always end up with trees and ice and tons of stuff, but I don't know up on this parcel. My biggest concern is, other than visual, it's from a physical standpoint, it's what can get stuck in that fence. That fence has got a hinge, so things will hit it and it'll kick out, and things will go under it, but then they'll get caught in the panel posts.
Right.
I know they say there aren't too many posts, but there'll be about a couple thousand of them out there, so. Stuff will get hung up on it. I just have never seen that field flooded to know if it takes a debris load or if that stays out at the trees.
I mean, I know it's flooded. I don't know how much debris's been up in there, though. You're right. I mean, is the trees that's on the riverbank blocking stuff from getting in there?
Yeah.
And, I've been down through there in a kayak a few times.
Yep.
It is considerably higher, the bank, like, it's higher than 88 is in Port Crane, you know.
Across the river, yes.
It is, it is higher there. I don't know if the ice makes it up onto the plateau, because it is,
It's not like the bottleneck down
it's
here.
not like down here. I think this is lower and where everything slows down.
Yep.
Personally,
Yeah.
but, once again, I've never been down there to see it, but.
Okay.
And I'm bringing this up not to have a discussion about it tonight, you know, so I mean, Alex, I mean, that's a
I just
good
wanted to ask
question,
while
but-
nobody else was
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Get it
certainly
asked now.
we want to make sure that the public knows that, you know, that we're having an agenda item to specifically discuss it. But I'm just bringing this up so that you guys are understanding at the next meeting, you know, this is what we need to do. And I was thinking, since the meeting's relatively short tonight, we can have an attorney-client session after the meeting is over to just go over, you know, just legally what you're obligated to do at that upcoming meeting.
Good suggestion.
If anybody has any
think,
with people with flood info, let me know. Tell them to call me.
Okay. So I don't think it's ever flooded or frozen when it's been flooding up there. It's always been the summertime. So, and a lot of trees are up, so it's protecting.
All right, so we have two major type things that we need to discuss. We need to, can you get us a copy of the draft of the moratorium so that we can review it ahead of the time?
The solar moratorium?
Yeah,
It should be published on the. It should be on the town board, website right now. For Wednesday's meeting, I believe it's on there already, right, Nate?
It should be.
Yeah, and it's been published, so you should be able to download it, no problem.
I'm trying to remember, I think the town board maybe, did they actually schedule the public hearing or no? They wanted to wait for this meeting before scheduling
No,
it.
the public hearing for the moratorium, if I remember right, is on the 10th.
Okay.
So what have they proposed? A year? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's a year.
Yeah, I thought, when I read it, I thought they said a year.
I drafted it and I don't even quite
I mean,
remember.
at this point, like, yes, we could read it, but, I mean, we've listened to the townspeople for 7 months that aren't for it,
Saying the same thing.
saying the same thing over and over again. In my opinion is that we tell the town, I would tell the town board that I am for the moratorium. I mean, that's what the people want, you know? They need to change the town needs to change the solar code so it can't go on a piece of agricultural property right behind a cul-de-sac. Whatever they gotta do to make it so they can't do that, they need to do that. So, I mean, I don't need any more time to read it. I mean, if they're gonna put a hold on it and fix the solar code, I'm into it.
Do you want to make that a formal recommendation that the town should proceed with the solar moratorium by, you know, making a motion to recommend that?
Yes, I would make a motion to recommend proceeding with the solar moratorium.
I'll second it.
okay, so we have a motion, we have a vote.
Motion to go forward with the solar moratorium? Is that,
Yes,
okay.
To
Mr. Carnegie,
recommend to the town board to go ahead with it.
say that again?
Recommend to the town board to go ahead with the solar moratorium.
Okay. Mr. Carnegie,
aye.
Ms. Mustard-Nardi,
Aye.
Mr. Zenner,
Aye.
Mr. Eldred,
Aye.
Mr. Donnelly.
Aye.
Nate, question. So if they do a solar moratorium, would it take effect immediately? So any project that's in the pipeline is stopped immediately, whatever they're doing is stopped?
Yeah, so when we have our attorney-client session after the
Okay.
meeting's over, I'll
Okay, sorry.
walk you through some of that stuff.
Okay.
Renee, do you know if the Bodick and Bolin projects got put out for 239 by Adam, or are you helping him with those?
I am not,
Yeah, I'll follow up with him.
So Alex, can you send us your review prior to the meeting on the 24th so that we can
Yeah, I'll get it out
take
earlier.
a look at it? It's difficult to hear there, and I just want to make sure that we all have the information that you're proposing.
Yep, yeah, I'll plan to have it out earlier than usual.
Thank you.
That way you can see it. That way they can get it also.
Thank you.
I will not be here on the 24th, so everyone else would have to be here if they're gonna vote, right?
Oh, we just need a quorum, so
Okay.
we could lose one more person.
Okay.
Hopefully everyone's here. It will be at the school.
Yay.
I don't know if there really would vote on anything, I don't know. Just wanna throw that out there.
Well, I think that the applicant is certainly indicating that they believe they've provided all the information necessary to finish the project. And so I think certainly at the next meeting, a public hearing is potentially in position to be closed. You know, certainly going, beginning the environmental review, to your point, you've heard from the public for about 6 or 7 months on this specific project. Actually, no, you've heard on the Cipriani project for that long. This project you've heard several times over a year.
2 years.
But, to the point that the applicant is ready to be, moving forward with the environmental review, it would be appropriate to close the public hearing probably at the next meeting.
Okay. Do we need a motion to go into?
No, it's an attorney-client session, which does not count as a meeting.
Okay.
So you just end your, adjourn your meeting, and then we'll turn off the recorders and then have an attorney-client session.
So is there anything else before the board?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. we're
Okay,
adjourned.
motion to adjourn. Mr. Carnegie,
Aye.
Ms. Musternardi,
Aye.
Mr. Zenner,
Aye.
Mr. Eldridge,
Aye.
Mr. Donnelly.
Aye.
We are adjourned.